All right, this is One Last Midnight, and all this week on Steam is Next Fest, which celebrates upcoming games all week long with hundreds of demos and a bunch of stuff. And so I took a look at one of the first games that was offered to me, and that is Sable. In Sable, you embark on a unique and unforgettable journey and guide Sable through her gliding, which is a rite of passage that will take her across vast deserts, mesmerizing landscapes, capped with the remains of spaceships and ancient wonders. Now, I got to play this game for probably about an hour. I really didn't get to go all the way through the demo. I think the demo was even longer than that. But I got to explore some of the area, and I got to explore some of, you know, the ship mechanics where you get a little bike, and then also the gliding mechanic. I did that in air quotes, where you kind of have a bubble and you're floating around and you're doing all kinds of interesting things. The graphics on the game they're different. They're line art type of graphics. So if you've ever seen that line art style before, they're very line arty. I think that's just a choice in which they chose to represent the game. I don't think that is like a lack of graphics ability or anything like that. I think that is the style that they were going for. The controls for me were kind of a little bit wonky. It felt more like a controller-based control than it did a mouse and keyboard. I was having some issues with the mouse where the mouse was not staying inside of the screen, and it was really kind of going. I have multiple monitors, so it was really kind of traveling across the multiple monitors, where I think if you were on a controller, you probably wouldn't have that problem. But I think that's probably something that's easily going to be solved before the game comes out. You know, you travel around, you get some quests from your main town, and you wind up meeting some interesting characters and performing some quests in order to gain yourself a bike, and then also find your abilities as, I don't know what race this is, but you get some sort of little magical abilities. It seems a little bit like somewhat of a puzzler. There's some very interesting things that you kind of have to solve as you're going through. There was a couple areas I either just could not get into, or I didn't have the correct ability to get into right away. But one of the main missions was to go to a temple to kind of explore your glide ability, which is, it's more like a feather fall ability where you can jump and then you fall slowly down, but it allows you to glide from one higher location to a lower location without too many problems. And so there was a kind of, you know, in the temple, there was like a little puzzler that you kind of had to figure out by using the glide ability. And I have a feeling that a lot of the game is going to be somewhat similar. I didn't come across any creatures that I had to destroy. That doesn't mean that they're not there later in the game. But it seems like a kind of relaxing type story. Almost, I like the game. I like the story and the art style. I am going to put it on my wish list and watch it to see what happens with it. Because I think it'll be a pretty fascinating story to probably go through and figure out what's going on there. Probably there's not going to be much replayability. It's going to be very linear in the story, but I think it'd probably be a story that I'd be interested in probably exploring. So at any rate, that was it for Sable. I'm going to be looking at a bunch of stuff during the Next Fest and talking about it, showing it off, and I hope you guys join me. Well, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'd love to have you in the community. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find links in the description below. And make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when I go live and when I post new videos. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.